Llywydd, and thanks to the Chair for her statement this afternoon. I'd also like to thank the committee staff for helping to arrange the inquiry and the witnesses that have so far appeared before us. I think we're all in broad agreement that we want the Assembly to be a welcoming environment for everyone who wants to work here. That includes people of different genders, of different ethnicities and different sexual orientations. And in the UKIP group, we have had a wide variety of people working for us, and hopefully our group room and the members' offices have been and still are a welcome work environment for them. Of course, we recognise that issues can arise. Problems can rear their heads in the relationships between people who work at the Assembly. And it's crucial that there is a clear path for people who feel that they are being harassed, victimised, persecuted, bullied or simply intimidated. There has to be a clear guideline of how to proceed with a complaint. And there has to be a certainty in the mind of the complainant that the complaint will be dealt with robustly and that the making of the complaint won't have any adverse effect on the complainant's career. There also needs to be clarity over processes, and I think the previous two speakers have raised several issues over that. Paul Davis brought in the aspect that most AMs are also members of political parties. So to some extent you have to bring the political parties on board and their processes have to dovetail with any Assembly process. So I was glad to hear that the Commissioner is working with the different parties, so hopefully we'll soon hear the outcome of that. And Llya raised the other very relevant point that there is a danger of different parallel processes creating confusions. For instance, you've got the political parties which can carry out their own investigation. You have the Assembly investigation, and then, of course, the point that Llya mentioned: if the AM is also a minister, you've also got the ministerial code. And I think it can get confusing with all of these different processes. Now, I know that you just stated that the ministerial code isn't in our remit as the Standards Committee. So I wonder if you think that does pose a problem in our efforts to get one clear and transparent code for the Assembly. And is there a case that, in some sense, our policy is going to have to encompass, in some aspects, the ministerial code and dovetail with that?
Thank you for your points, Gareth. I appreciate you following on from the points of Paul and Llya. And I think the issue you raised about the ministerial code is, again, something that you'd raised last week as well. So I'm sure that will come up. But as I said, we have to be mindful that it's beyond our remit in terms of what we can change. But obviously, we have to look at all of these issues when people like yourself raise them. It is important that there's a clear path, as you say, and I think the important point is that the complainant is in control of those processes as well, because it is important that they know where they want to go with it, rather than just having that decision made for them. I think it is important that people are signposted in the right way, and hopefully, if there are people who feel unsure about coming forward, that there is this phone number now at the moment. Obviously, this is just an interim measure, whether we, extend that or, the committee is yet to report on that. So, obviously, we're still in the middle of our inquiry, so there are lots of things that we can look at, but obviously we can have a debate on that when our inquiry reports.
Jane Hutt.
Well, can I thank the